Oh my God, I had to go pick all my cucumbers in the garden today, and holy shit, I am sweating my ass off. It probably look fantastic.
Weather out there today is hot and shitty, with continued hot and shitty in the afternoon. Tomorrow, chance of continued crappy with a pissy weather front coming down from the north. Basically, it's hotter than a snake's ass in the winter.
So today I want to talk to you guys about all the different ways that you can save your cucumbers. Honestly, cucumbers are great for you. There's so many different ways that you can preserve cucumbers, and we're gonna get through all of those today. This video is gonna be really good for anybody who's like me. You know, as you guys knew, I was on vacation for quite a few weeks. When I came back, all my cucumbers, this is like one of the smaller ones. They were like that fat. That's terrible. They were really fat. They were yellow, and you know, they weren't prime cucumbers for eating or for pickles. You know, at that point, that flesh, the seeds, they're overpowering. Okay, so you can still obviously eat them, which I do because I would never waste food, but there's a lot of things that you can do with those guys. And so again, this video is going to be really useful for anybody who's got some big fat overgrown cucumbers in their garden, or just want to figure out some different ways to save their food in multiple ways so they can be more versatile. Now, since we're already out here and it's right behind me, I want to talk to you guys about my new dehydrator I just got. So this guy here, a dehydrator is really good for you to have because it allows you to save on energy, okay? And especially if you have a smaller garden, for example, or let's say you're not really producing a lot at one time, you don't have to feel bad if you're not filling up a whole rack in your actual dehydrator. Dehydrating food doesn't necessarily mean you're saving it to just munch on later. The process and finishing product is actually really versatile. You can spiralize cucumbers, dry and use as noodles or for soups later. You can also slice them up, let them dry, and then grind them into a powder. This powder can be used for soups, dressings, dips, and other recipes in need of a thickener. This rack is the easiest way to save herbs from your garden. Honestly, if you have a garden, you should have one of these racks, regardless of where you live. This here was maybe $20, and it's a very nice thing to utilize all summer long and get product out of it. Hopefully you guys know me well enough now to know that if something can be made or mixed with alcohol, I'm going to do it. And cucumbers are no different. Cucumbers can most definitely be added to drinks, and it's amazing. There are mojitos, there are margaritas, well, basically any type of drink you make, you can make it with cucumbers, so why would you not? You can get drunk and have something healthy in it for you. Now you're getting your vitamins and your nutrients by drinking. You only need a few simple ingredients to make this. 4 ounces of triple sec, 4 ounces of lime juice, 16 fresh cut cucumbers, and 6 ounces of tequila. Mix together all of these ingredients, get some lime on a rim and put your favorite salt on there, and serve your drink on the rocks. Boom, it's amazing, it tastes so good. Next way that you can save your cucumbers is by freezing them. I know a lot of people will advise against freezing cucumbers, and reason being is typically because they believe that it makes them too mushy, and so they're not worth freezing. But I would argue that, again, cucumbers can be used for so many things like smoothies and for dips and whatnot, and so the texture of them is not going to necessarily matter. I like to peel mine, remove the seeds, and then slice these babies up. Now, you don't have to pre-freeze your cucumbers. The only reason that I do is because I do sometimes use them for cucumber salads, and so I want them to keep their shape and not get squished. If you don't care and you know you're gonna be using these for smoothies or for a dip and they're already gonna get crushed up, then you can probably do without pre-freezing them before you get them in there. bag or container that you want them to be froze into. And of course, we're gonna include in this video a pickle recipe because that's typically what a lot of people do when they have cucumbers. I wanted to kill two birds in one stone in this video by showing you guys now all or few of my recycled jars. So all of these jars come from the store. I bought them with food in them, and now I have recycled them and reused them for my pickles. And I had a 100% seal rate the first time I processed all of them. So now, as you guys can see, we've got success with my spaghetti jars. You guys might notice that some of these pickles do not have seeds, some of them do. My rule of thumb is if they're small pickles, probably good to keep the seeds. If they're big though, and you've let them go too long, take out the guts. If you don't, you're gonna have very mushy centers to pickles, and it's just not good. The texture isn't good, it's too mushy. First thing you're gonna wanna do is sterilize the jars. Now, if you are reusing jars, you can pre-soak them to get the stickers off in hot water with vinegar. So after your jars are sterile, you can now add whatever you would like to these guys. Some people, again, put peppercorn, some people put onions and other things in there. So just find a recipe that you like and fill those jars up with those ingredients first. You can then add your pickles to your jars. You wanna pack them as tight as you can, and then you'll make your brine. The brine is going to consist of water, vinegar, and pickling salt. Once this brine comes to a boil and the salt is dissolved, you can pour the hot brine on the jars to about a 1/2 inch of headspace. Wipe all the lids with vinegar and process for 15 minutes. Little side note for you guys, as you can see, my jars are different sizes. So if you're wondering if you need to drop your processing time with these guys, you can. I mean, it's only a 15-minute process time. I think the rule of thumb here is they say that if a recipe calls for, let's say like a quart-ish jar or whatever, you can go down in jar size, you just can't go up. Okay, so because I was following a recipe for a quart size process time, it was okay for me to use smaller jars. Does that make sense? So that's it for me today, guys. Hopefully you learned something new today. The goal here is to help motivate people to get out and garden and produce a crap ton of food and not feel like the method of which to preserve all of it is going to be super time consuming. So you've got to know all the different ways, and that was the intent of this video. And so, you know, if you guys are looking to also learn about some other techniques or a different type of food in particular, let me know in the comments and we will cover it. Thanks for watching, guys.